From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, happy Tuesday morning to you. You know, we've got more rain in the forecast. The wind, more breezy conditions here. The winds will pick up at times over the next few days. And we've got more of that mountain snow, but higher elevation snow. But we'll be getting a break finally by the middle of the week for many of us, and especially for Thursday and Friday. But by the weekend, we've got more wet weather, and that'll probably even continue into at least the beginning of next week. Take a look at our planner here for the North State. The Valley will be looking at, of course, mostly cloudy skies today, and of course the chance for showers. I don't expect a ton of rain. I mean, yeah, there are going to be periods of kind of the long periods of light rain for some of us, but it won't really amount to a lot. There you can see Siskiyou and Modoc County. You've got the overcast skies and snow levels around 1,000 feet, give or take, and that's the case for the eastern mountains as well. We take you onto the north coast. We're going to be looking at overcast skies there. Rain will be heavy at times, though, for the coast and even some of the inland areas, so be prepared for that. And Trinity County looking at some heavy rainfall at times as well. So really to the north and west is where we do expect some of the heaviest rainfall through the day today. And that's because the area of low pressure right here is spinning. You've got a little bit of that moisture kind of coming up northward, so it's kind of beginning confined off to the western portions of Northern California, with that area of low pressure continuing to dive down to the south and east. So we'll take a look at futurecast. So you can see as we take you into the noon hour, again, remember I was talking about it's this kind of quadrant right here where we're seeing that main flow bringing in that rain. So you see the valley, it's the north end of the valley and the east side of the valley that's going to see the heaviest amount of rainfall. And then, of course, as the winds blow up the mountains, we see that nice little band of moisture in the form of snow. But as I mentioned, mainly above 3,000 to 4,000 feet is what we're looking at this point. Now we take you on into your Tuesday or this afternoon. Again, you see how that main flow is still bringing the heaviest rainfall out along the coast, Trinity County, even parts of Siskiyou County as well. This is mainly going to be in the form of a rain-snow mix out towards Mount Shasta City. So I don't anticipate any chain requirements on I-5, and not to mention no chain requirements are expected on 299 East, but east of I-5 is where we can see some of those chain requirements. And then it kind of pushes a little bit more to the east, so chances for showers will probably increase later this evening and tonight for the valley, and not to mention some of the eastern mountains as well. But then chances diminish for showers as we get on the backside of the storm system. In fact, I'm expecting dry conditions for the north coast by the time we get into Wednesday. Everyone else still a chance for showers, which you'll see that a little bit more in that deep dive forecast. But taking a look at the road conditions, all rain on Highway 299 west. And of course, you can see just a bit of that mix out towards I-5. And of course, I still think we'll see some chain requirements east of I-5. 5 p.m., still a bit of that mix on I-5 that'll probably continue even as we take you on into your Wednesday morning as well. But conditions really not changing a whole lot because we're not going to see those snow levels rise or climb a whole lot, maybe just lower a little bit in those overnight hours. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Those temperatures should be somewhere in the mid to upper 40s today. And for the north coast, your temperatures are going to be the low to mid 50s. Rain will be heavy at times and a little gusty at times too. You can see Smith River about 52, 50 out in Orick, and Hoopa, a high of about 50 degrees. We take you out to Siskiyou County where you've got those temperatures in the low to mid 40s, although upper 30s for places like Doris, Tennant, and not to mention McLeod, and not too much warmer out at Mount Shasta City with a high of about 40 degrees. We take a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Those temperatures are going to be hovering around that 40-degree mark. We do have those drier conditions, though, by the time we do get into your Thursday and Friday. For your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the mid-40s, give or take. Look for a high of about 48 degrees for Paradise. And for the south end of the valley, for your neighborhood forecast, there you can see about 60 for Willow Creek, 57 in Elk Creek and Pasquinta, about 54 degrees. We take you up north, 49 degrees out in City of Shasta Lake, 50 for Bella Vista, Palisadro, about 52 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. And what we've got here, of course, is the showers today. Tomorrow, I think it'll be isolated. We're kind of on the back end. We're wrapping things up tomorrow, but still that chance for showers in some areas. And then it dries out entirely and warms up. We're in the mid to even possibly upper 60s by Friday, and then off and on chances for showers through the weekend, especially for Saturday. Maybe a bit of a break on Sunday, and then more showers on Monday. I wanted to show you this. It's kind of interesting. Katrina Taylor from Hayfork sent me this image, a couple of images for Hayfork. And I wanted to point this out because, number one, I want to tell everyone that I appreciate you giving me your snow totals. But it's kind of interesting because as I reported some of those snow totals, then there were other people in your community that you may have reported it, and they were saying there was nowhere near that amount of rainfall, or snowfall that is, or they saw a lot more or a lot less than what you had reported. So it's kind of interesting to one of the things we have to kind of take some of these reports that are coming in from your neighbors with a grain of salt, because it may be just an estimate and maybe their estimates are just a little off. I don't know. We'll have to kind of figure out maybe a better way to get those totals out there for you. But kind of an example of the many microclimates in this area is the fact that this is a picture of just above Hayfork. And you can see all of the snow here. So we take a look at this image. Now I'm going to take you out to Hayfork itself, the center of town. This is out at the post office. You can see there's a lot of snow on the ground, but just a little bit less. So again, it's these microclimates where you can be kind of where the center of town is, and then you may be just outside of town, and that may be 100, 200, even 300 feet higher in elevation, and that can make all of the difference in the world as to whether or not you see snow, the center of town sees snow, or how much snow you end up seeing. So that can play a big role as well. So that's why when I ask you to, not only give me your snow pictures and your reports on how much snow you saw, but also your elevation, because that can play a big role. The center of town of Hayfork is approximately 2,300 feet. So if I know where you live is 25 or 2,600 feet, that makes a big difference when we're looking at some of these pictures and figuring out how much snow you did see. So let's take a look at the deep dive forecast, and you can see this is the area of low pressure I was talking about. You've got that moisture kind of streaming up, and that's what's going to give the heavy rainfall for the coast, and not to mention Trinity County and even parts of Siskiyou County as well. There's the area of low pressure. It dives down to the south and weakens. You see how we had the closed low, and then it kind of opens up as a trough. Then as we go into Thursday, Friday, we start to see this ridge of high pressure begin to build in. This is going to give us the warmer temperatures for the end of the week, but that's not going to last forever. You see this trough right here? We've got that trough. That's moving in by Saturday, giving us more rain. Sunday a break. More rain on Monday, possibly a break on Tuesday of next week, although it looks like we may still have some leftover showers even next Tuesday. So still looking at below normal temperatures, but instead of, remember last week, we were in these deep blues right here, indicating very good chances of below normal temperatures, which we did see. Now as we get into these lighter shades of blue and getting into this gray color, that's saying, hey, listen, you're going to be just barely below normal, very slim chance of being below normal, if not closer to normal for this time of the year. So yeah, temperatures are beginning to moderate, and as a result, that's why we're seeing those higher snow levels. All right, so let's take a look at your future cast here and kind of walk you hour by hour. So we're going to take you to the noon hour. Again, we're seeing that flow mainly kind of, you take a look at the line right here. That's where we're seeing that heaviest rainfall. The coast, northwestern Trinity County, and northwestern portions of Siskiyou County as well. But looks like some decent snow as you head above 4,000 feet, right? And then, of course, you head in the valley. Yeah, I think we're going to see showers through the morning, especially the north end of the valley and the east side of the valley. But we're also seeing those winds blowing up those mountains, and that's what's giving more of that snow for those mountains just east of the valley. All right, now we're going to take you into 6 p.m. You see how that flow just kind of stays pretty constant. So some heavy rainfall continues. We'll call it moderate to heavy rainfall at times. But there you can see for Humboldt County, Trinity County. But now, if you notice, at 6 p.m., we're beginning to see things lighten up a little bit for parts of the coast. But we're still seeing some decent flow into Siskiyou County and northern Shasta County as well. But notice we're just not seeing as much rainfall. I still think some of us may see some showers, light showers, as we go into this afternoon. And of course, we're still seeing some of that orographic lift up those mountains, producing some of the snow just to the east of the valley. But then what happens is that low pressure kind of dives down to the south even more. We're getting more of that flow kind of doing something like this. So that's why we're seeing better chances for rain this evening and into tomorrow morning for the valley. But look at Trinity County, look at Western Siskiyou County, look at Del Norte and Humboldt County. It's dry. Right? And then, of course, we begin to see it really begin to wrap up. Now, it's just that one last little push for a shower or two as we go into the afternoon on Wednesday with snow levels between 3,000, still in 4,000 feet. And then, by Wednesday night into Thursday, it's finally gone. Now, think about this as we have those clear skies Wednesday night into Thursday. Number one, we could see some freezing temperatures. Number two, and really probably even better chance of seeing some fog. So we'll have to watch for that fog development here as we do go into Thursday morning. All right, look at the forecast rain totals. And, you know, the thing is, these numbers keep changing because we're just not seeing as much rainfall for parts of the valley. But overall, as we go through Thursday, 11 a.m., I think we can see 1 to even 2 inches of rain. Of course, heaviest rainfall, as we typically do see, will be in Del Norte County. But, of course, as you head eastward, not as much rainfall. But, you know, you take a look at the valley, I think, you know, it's not out of the question for some of us to see over 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. And then we take a look at the snow totals. Now we're seeing much less snowfall, especially in those lower mountain communities, right? Because we're seeing those higher snow levels. So you're just not going to see as much in those snow totals. Now, I wanted to show the winds because you see how the winds are coming from the south for the valley. It's a little breezy for some of us, but not a big deal. And then more of that north wind out along the immediate coast. But look at this. As we take you into Wednesday, we're seeing more of a shift from the north to south wind. And of course, still looking at those north winds even for the coast. And the winds picking up for the coast as well. And then, of course, those north winds continue for the valley on Thursday as well, and a little breezy at times too. There you can see gusts upwards of around 20, 25 miles per hour, and a little gusty out along the coast as well. Now, there's a reason why we're seeing that shift, and I'll show you right here. There it is. You see this ridge of high pressure building in for Thursday, Friday. So as we go into Thursday, we're going to see the flow around that ridge of high pressure coming in from the north, and that's going to give us that lower level support for those north winds as well. But then as we kind of push into Friday, Saturday, that ridge kind of pushes to the east. Still dry as we go into Friday, but now we're seeing more of that southwesterly flow. We'll probably see those winds shift more from the south by the time we get into Friday. And then, of course, what we've got here is another cold front. There's the trough of low pressure. There's the main area of low pressure right here. That's what's moving in on Saturday. Now, this particular model wants to bring those snow levels a little bit lower, but I'm going to keep the snow levels on average starting today through this weekend and even into next week at around 4,000 feet. And I say that on the days that we actually have chances for precipitation. If we don't have precipitation, you're not talking really snow levels, right? I mean, you can have snow levels. It just doesn't mean it will snow. But again, getting a little picky there. All right, but anyway, so as we go to noon on Saturday, there again you can see that showers and of course snow in the higher elevations. And then we might actually see a bit of a break on Sunday before the next system comes in right here on Monday. And then maybe some more activity coming in behind that on Tuesday, mainly for the coast though. We'll see. I mean, the timing of that's going to all change. But we're seeing less of these amplified systems. We're not seeing big ridges of high pressure. We're not seeing big troughs of low pressure. And that may keep that flow, we call it a zonal flow type pattern, where you can see right here. So as these kind of systems kind of come through the pike, they move through fairly quickly, and they're usually not very intense. All right, so it's kind of an interesting fact there. All right, take a look at the precipitation outlook. As we take a look at your long range, we're still seeing chances for rain in the forecast. You can see we're still in that darker green, and there you can see that's just a better chance of seeing that above normal rainfall. All right, let's switch gears, talk about your wave heights, about 7 to 8 feet. Again, as you head out to sea, and they will start to increase here. All right, so let's take a look at your marine forecast for today. We do have those winds coming in from the south at about 15 to 25 knots. Waves from the south at 8 feet at 7 seconds. And there, of course, is a small correct advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. It should be allowed to expire after that, as the wave heights won't be that bad this afternoon. But again, they'll pick up again tomorrow. So we'll probably see another small correct advisory tomorrow at least. But there you can see temperatures today are going to be in the low to mid 50s. There's kind of a quick look at your forecast. There you can see about 46 degrees for Weaverville, 45 Hayfork, 44 degrees for Chester, and Susanville, a high of 45. You have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you at noon.